And this chapel that I spoke to, and they're a conservative type of school. They're a little sort of a Mennonite, really, more Mennonite. But anyway, and the chapel's always, my grandson talking about how it's never any good. He said it's always, but anyway, the kids were laughing. Right. And they were laughing, they going, and teachers were looking at each other, and they said, "We can't." But they come to me after and said, "We've never seen these kids laugh in the chapel." And they talked about it, and they went on, and they came up afterwards and just talked to me. But I mean, I just really dealt from the real point. And one of the things I shared with them is about being effective in life. Right. And I shared with all you a firecracker or a bullet. Same amount of gunpowder, but one just excites, but the other one can save your life, feed your family, and it's all about direction. Okay, so if we have direction in our life, how we can really change things and make a difference. Right. And what gets us off direction sometimes are people we let in our life and things like that. But that is real, trusting that part of you. It's hard to explain, ain't it?
It is, and I love what you said, because me and Grayson, 2 hours before I came here, we were talking about this church I'd preached at in Fredericksburg years ago, and it was one of the largest churches I'd ever preached at. And when I first got up there, they knew I was from the hills of Virginia, and I was introduced that way. Right. And so they kind of looking at me like, "You ain't from around here, son." And those first few minutes, I was just finding my flow. I knew I had a word. Right. And when I'm confident in the word that God gave me, I knew we was going to be okay. And about 5 minutes in, I hit my rhythm. Right. That sweet spot in the anointing. And we ended up having a great meeting. That church called me back multiple times. But that first 5 minutes, you know how people are. If they don't know you, they go outside on you sometimes, and you got to kind of win them over. But there's something about the anointing, and you feel it when you get out of you and step over into that. Yeah. And that happened to me. It's so odd that you were talking about that right now, because just 2 hours ago, me and Grayson were talking about that very same thing.
But think about how hard that is to explain. Okay, you cannot explain that to a non-believer.
No,
you can't. And see, I think sometimes, and there's a point we'll come back, but that when when I seen the young rich ruler in Jesus, and I think we've even shared this before, the young rich ruler, Jesus came to him, told him what he needed to do.
Right.
He said, "Nah." Right. Jesus went on. Right. Okay? I think sometimes we can try to drag people into this walk of God.
That's good.
And I'm going to share this, that are not his children.
That's good.